Magic and witchcraft are a big part of pop culture.
Expecto Patronum!
But you may be surprised to know that witches still exist in the 21st century. I sat down to talk to Scarlett Jory, a modern witch right here in Montreal. So Scarlett, you are the founder of the Crescent Moon School of Witchcraft and Paganism here in Montreal.
Yes.
First of all, I would like to just know what you define as a witch.
In the Old English, the word witch comes from the Old English word wit. So witchcraft is the craft of the wise. It's knowing how to use the environment around you, knowing how to understand the energies of what you experience and manipulate them, bend them to achieve goals. But part of paganism is being able to connect with the nature that you live in at this moment. And come to terms and come into balance with the nature that is around you, even in an urban setting like this.
How do you practically do that? Do you go out into nature? Do you do rituals?
We do rituals. We don't have a particular temple space or church like Christianity or Muslims or anything like that. So we create temporary sacred space. We call it casting the circle, where you define a circular area that will be used for ritual and then you undo it again once you're done. And that's our way of, we leave no footprints. So I was raised to always consider nature as sacred, and if you want to connect with God, go outside, touch the grass, look at the sky. You connect with nature that way, and it has its own energy, and it has its own force, and it's divine in its own way.
And how did it begin for you? How did you get into this?
I mean, I was particularly fascinated by druids and the more esoteric and mystic side of things, but I hadn't actually met anyone who practiced this today. The only things you saw about today was like in fantasy novels, witches and wizards. That was interesting, but real application I couldn't find. And then I met a witch. I had taken a course in CEGEP called Magic and Witchcraft. And in the class was another student who was raised and trained as a witch. And when I found out she was a witch, I was determined to make her my best friend. and we did. We were best friends for a long time, and she became my first teacher. Back then, we're talking late 1980s, early 1990s. Paganism and witchcraft and contemporary magic were not popular. So back then, you either had to know somebody or you had to be able to find a location that had a connection into that community. Today, it's almost mainstream. I mean, we see TV shows like Charmed and whatnot, and Supernatural and things, and the idea of modern practice of a pagan spirituality is pretty mainstream now.